Listen up.
1944 cruiser. Here we go. So, let's go build one. 1944 cruiser Mark 1. That's already obsolete. Okay, so we need to have two models. We need to have a recon cruiser and we need to have a not recon cruiser. Raiding cruiser. So let me just see this. Oh no, that's the wrong list. Patrons, I need a name. This is going to be the Arachnos. And this is going to be the recon class. So we need to have an absolutely amazing radar, great sonar, secondary. Actually, recon doesn't necessarily need it, and probably doesn't need armor. No, recon does need armor. Recon needs full armor. But it doesn't need many guns. It needs to have the aircraft. Doesn't need torpedoes. I'm kind of tempted to say it only needs one turret. Does need AA. Oh, and it needs a big engine. 42 nautical miles. While armoured. That's pretty good. In fact, can the light attack... There we go, dual purpose. That's what I need. Gives you really good AA as well. So these ships are not meant to fight. They're meant to be relatively cheap. Tough, but cheap. Speed shall be their armour. British Admiralty on the battlecruiser designs World War I. Many of them were destroyed in the Battle of Jutland. Yeah, well, you need to know how you're going to use them. If you're planning to fight fixed battles like Jutland was, then speed is not their armour. If you're planning to do hit-and-run raiding like Germany in Second World War, then speed is their armour. So that's the Arachnos R. Then we're also going to have the Walker, which is going to be the Raider, which is a great name for a Raider. So we're going to duplicate you. I'm going to call you Walker. You're going to be the CR class. You're going to have the same detection capabilities as the previous. You are going to use a dual-purpose secondary. Light cruiser battery. These are convoy raiders, they only need to have light guns. You know what, I'm going to keep this one as a dual purpose gun. So still not a huge number of hit points. Pretty quick, heavily armoured. So enemy screens won't be able to touch him because they can't penetrate that. And piercing is too low on light guns. .52 surface detection, 34 submarine detection. This is looking good to me. And we're going to call you after famous battles. Do I have any fast escort carriers to accompany the recon cruisers? No. I haven't done any research into carriers, I don't really intend to. How much production do you save by cutting the armour completely? 5,400, so 1,000. And you do gain 5 nautical miles. I could go for armor 2. No, I'm still going to go for armor 4 because I'm expecting these to fight destroyers and I'm expecting them to sink them. So we want Arachnosars and CRs. So I want one more Vasco. I want one more of each of those. Then I want Arachnosars and I want Walker CRs. You're obsolete. You're obsolete. You're obsolete. Both of the submarines are obsolete. The Danae, those, and the thingies are as well. We've already got an Arachnos. We're going to want a Walker. And I think that we're going to need more CRs. So we're going to do that. Oh, the other thing I need to do is change your icon. So the Arachnos R is a binoculars because you are recon ships. The CR raiders so they can have the gun. No anti-submarines on them. No, it's not their role. How much would it cost to add a anti-sub? Extra 300. Add a little anti-sub. No, let's just add a depth charge too. That's not a bad idea. I don't remember which ship that was. So this the Walker CR. Have a little anti-sub. And the Arachnos R can have an anti-sub as well. These don't need them. Ah, sod it. We'll still add one. They're not expensive. We'll give them something so they can just start throwing anti-submarine equipment at them. I want more CRs at this point. Let's mix them up though. Okay, good. Have I experimented with destroyer torpedo boats at all? I haven't, just because I tend to prefer using capital ships as ship sinkers, but you certainly could. Probably the best way of doing it would be to have dedicated screen killers. So a couple of probably light cruisers, maybe heavy cruisers. In fact, that's probably the way it would work, is like light and heavy cruisers plus destroyers. Destroyers with lots of torpedoes, and then the cruisers to sink the enemy screens, so that the destroyers, torpedoes, can actually get through. I was talking about the recon ship armor. The thing about the recon ship armor is I don't know if that affects air power against them. I actually have a feeling it doesn't. So maybe the recons don't need it. Good grief, that makes them fast. Or maybe just cruiser 2s. Yeah. I think I prefer this. This is the Arachnos. And put these into the training task force. Like so.
Ready to move!
Heavy fighters. I want another 200 heavy fighters. Flown by the Dutch. What? Apparently I can't do it with the Dutch. No superiority out there. Time to attack Thailand yet? No. I'm waiting for these guys to become Jaegers, which is going to require me to actually finish researching Jaegers. 28 days left on a thing. What's the thing? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Come on!
While we're waiting, we can be training you lot up as well. No reason not to. An exiled US campaign. I'm not even sure how you'd set that up. Torpedoes deal critical hits exclusively, if I understand correctly, but how does armor interact with critical hits? I think it's ignored. The thing which interacts with critical hits is reliability. The lower a ship's reliability, the more likely they are to take a crit. Which just does like 5 times more damage or something like that. Hey, Bussy! Advanced infantry equipment. Let's get bigger, better guns! Support 46s. Or defense and breakthrough, like we need that. Meanwhile, how's the fight going on down here? Have you made it to levels? Yes, you have! Huzzah! Aggressive assaulter, finally. Even though you're super defensive, but never mind. Won't hold it against you. Okay, so shock troops need to have a new command. I think I just need to rejig my command a little bit. Where's Richie? Richie's kind of very wasted up here. Pretty sure that Sweden is no longer an issue. And Richie is a pretty good commander, we'll keep you. These are my exile forces. They're doing just fine. Dempsey I need to replace with somebody. You're definitely my naval invader. And then you're my other specialist. Okay, who do we have that's good here? Connor's quite strong. Lord Gort's done. Ah, Harold Alexander, that's who I need to switch out. So we'll bring in... Platt. And then this is going to be Harold Alexander instead. Under a new Field Marshal, which is going to be Dempsey. Look how many traits this guy has got. Oh, the one unfortunate thing is his supply is really bad. Never mind. Okay, do I have any other frontline formations that I need to have anywhere? No. Short answer. Okay.
Ready.
Yeah, this has been a very long war. The Soviets and the Allies are at war. So there's just been this constant smash up down here. Which is how Miles Dempsey got all of that experience. He was my main anti-Soviet commander. And he just hit level 6. He is a Field Marshal, so he's just taking control of my Special Forces units. Which is what these guys are. And we're at war with the Axis too. But we're currently fighting Japan. We've just pushed Japan out of most of Indonesia. We still have Sulawesi to deal with. But we're sinking their navy, which is what's going on up here at the moment. They are sinking a lot of my destroyers, which sucks. You know what I need to do? I need to make a 1944 destroyer with anti-air main guns. Also, I do have a lot of ships that I can use to reinforce. Yeah, 300,000 manpower. How much have the Soviets lost now? 8.7 million. And they still outnumber us 2 to 1. Good odds. You two are in business in 7 days. How long till I get Jaegers? 34 days. Oh yeah, I guess Papua New Guinea as well. It wasn't on my screen at the time, I don't think. I was looking at this. I still haven't taken the whole of the Philippines. But we are going to be able to fight in basically 2 different theatres. So we'll have the Marines over here while we try to push north with the Jaegers and shock troops. Oh no, shock troops are going to keep over there. So the Jaegers are going to be fighting here. Then once we've secured the big islands and reduced the resources that Japan has access to, I think we're going to start launching naval invasions from the Philippines along their coast. I might actually try and take Thailand. That would be a really nice airbase to have. Taiwan. Did I say Thailand? I think I said Thailand. I meant Taiwan. What research was this? This was something to do with boats. Right, let's get the 1944 destroyers and we'll start building some of them. That's true, New Caledonia should definitely be a target. We seem to be doing very well for oil. Huzzah! So let's go back down to 6 oil imports. And good grief, I'm low on steel. The entire world is. Pint Breaker! Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Very much appreciate that. Welcome to the Maudlings. And John B, thank you very much for the follow. Sorry that I missed that one about an hour ago. Welcome to the channel. -8. Good old Norway. We have a little bit too much tungsten. I can only reduce this by 16s, but that's fine. Air power in that region's looking fine. African coast is getting a little bit iffy. So I would say let's go and add a couple more heavy fighters to that wing. And it is now time for us to make a mechanized unit. I forgot I was still training a bunch of colonials. Good. So we are going to want modern tanks. Plus we're going to want mechanized infantry. Oh, you know what? We never built SPGs. I did actually mean there to be SPGs in these. Mechanized infantry. Mechinf, 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 Mechinf. All the way to 30, 40. Logistics, field hospitals, support rocket artillery, support artillery. Only moves at 9 kilometers per hour. Why? Don't know. We still have more than 30 organization, which is good. We have a bucket load of hit points. Soft attack of 880. Piercing of 89, which should be enough to deal with most armoured divisions. And what are we going to call these units? Oh, what they called? The Lifeguard. No, I don't mean swimming pool lifeguards. I mean the cavalry, the elite cavalry lifeguard. In fact, I think they were called Life Guard. That. What kind of navies do my opponents have at this point, numbers-wise? Nothing worth mentioning. And get me 12 of them. And this is now preparing for an offensive against Germany. Or possibly once I'm into Japan to really punch out. If I get bogged down somewhere. But those are very, very big, very, very heavy units with lots of supply usage. So not to be used lightly. And it is still 46. Not upgraded the recon yet. We definitely should. Oh, hold on. Engineer companies are speed bonuses, aren't they? Maybe the one I don't want is field hospitals. Fort attack, river crossing, amphibious attack, forest defense, hills defense, urban attack and defense, jungle, marsh. Yeah, without engineers we're going to really struggle with rivers. We do have a lot of marines for that. I don't know. Engineers or artillery, or engineers and recon, or engineers or field hospitals. Is minus 10% reliability as bad as it sounds? I don't think so. Like, our industry is pretty strong at this point. I feel fairly confident that we can maintain this, especially because, again, only going to be sending them to the critical crisis points. I mean, I'm not actually building rocket artillery at the moment, so I think I'm going to get rid of the rockets. I'm going to go with this instead. The other thing that we could do is add more SPs. Which would be significantly more soft attack. Oh, but we lose the organization if we do this. No, we're not doing that. Okay. Right, we need to produce modern modern SPGs. Modern... that's medium. Those are out of date. Those are out of date. Those are out of date. Modern SP artillery 45s. Here we go. Which we can probably upgrade. It would cost me 175 to do this. I'm going to say go ahead and start producing them. We can always upgrade after. We'll build something like that. I think I can probably reduce the number of guns we're making as well. Harold Alexander wounded. Didn't you just get into this position? Damn it. Let's bring in Oliver Lease. Get you some experience then, I guess. Would AA be worthwhile, or am I just going to have overall air superiority? I'm expecting to have overall air superiority. Now that I'm actually producing thousands of jets in surplus, I think we're fine. 2 years ago, I probably wouldn't have said that. But now I think we're okay. Anyway, you were asking about navies. So German's navy right now is a grand total of 7 boats, which Hitler has in his paddling pool out back. Mussolini has 30. The Soviet Union has 170, which is actually a decent number. Japan has less than the Soviets. Oops. They're down to about 90. Meanwhile, oh, and Spain has 8. 1 more than Hitler, and I'm sure that Hitler is very angry about this. Meanwhile, the United States has 370. Free France has 7. Actually, Vichy, how many do they have? 8. Free France has 17, and then I have 442. As I was saying, their navies are a non-factor at this point. And we just sank another bunch. Although we did lose a heavy cruiser. Not lost one of... Bye-bye, Japan Navy. 3 carriers, 5 light cruisers, 3 destroyers, a heavy cruiser for 4 naval bombers. I wish I'd seen that. Ow! I lost 2 cruisers. Carriers. 9 destroyers, a carrier, 4 bombers, 3 fighters for 6 destroyers, 2 carriers, a heavy cruiser, and 3 fighters. I might actually have to build a carrier. Wow. That's rare. Okay, so that was in this fleet, which really needs to go and repair. Oh, you didn't have that turned on. Damn it. So I don't know exactly what you're short on. We do have some heavy cruisers that could reinforce. You're currently at port in here. Are you being bombed? No, I think that was just the huge naval battle that you just took part in. Can't believe I lost 2 carriers. That's actually really quite impressive, considering how many capital ships I have stacked up in front of them. Although I guess it's because my strike fleets don't have very good AA. Which I guess matters against Japan. Doesn't matter against Germany. Or even Italy. Yeah, that's why they're out of ships.